Whereas the video Representative Ilhan Omar reposted on X further states Charlie Kirk was a stochastic terrorist, an adamant transphobe. He denied the genocide happening in Palestine. He believed the subjugation of women, and in his last dying words, he was spewing racist dog whistles. Whereas the video Representative Ilhan Omar reposted on X further states Charlie Kirk was Dr. Frankenstein.
I don't care if you have negative personal feelings towards Charlie Kirk. That is your prerogative. You didn't agree with his politics. You didn't agree with what he stood for. That's totally fine. That is your prerogative, and no one should be able to tell you otherwise. When you're going to dance on his grave and have celebratory retweets and statements in regarding to a man losing his life, a wife losing her husband, children losing their father, because he had an opinion that opposed yours, you're a sick individual. And Nancy Mace calls out Ilhan Omar because she does exactly that. And it's absolutely insane. But before we get into that, I want to remind you guys to subscribe to RTM News because it ensures to YouTube that you are enjoying these videos. And in turn, they'll continually show up in your feed and they'll push it out to more people. I'm Titus. Let's get into this video.
Mr. Speaker, pursuant to Clause 2A1 of Rule 9, I rise to give notice of my intent to raise a question of the privileges of the House. The form of the resolution is as follows. House Resolution 713. Censuring Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota and removing her from the Committee on Education and Workforce and the Committee on the Budget. Whereas Charlie Kirk was a lifelong advocate for freedom of speech, civil political discourse, and the political engagement of youth. Whereas Charlie Kirk was a man of deep faith, a husband and a father to 2 young children. Whereas on September 10th, 2025, Charlie Kirk was assassinated on the campus of Utah Valley University while exercising his First Amendment right to freedom of speech. Whereas on September 11th, 2025, one day after the assassination of Charlie Kirk, Representative Ilhan Omar gave an interview on Zateo's town hall with Mehdi Hassan in which she smeared Charlie Kirk and implied he was to blame for his own murder.
That's insane. And I've seen this online from a lot of crazy wackos. Saying because he was pro Second Amendment, he was asking for this to happen to himself. Taking quotes that he has said out of context, and then people saying, oh, they always use out of context argument because you are intentionally taking things out of context. And it's so ridiculous to say that he's responsible for his own murder. No, a psychopath murderer is responsible for his murder, not him. That is disingenuous, it's a lie, and it's disrespectful. You don't have to agree with the man, but he literally lost his life. We're just engaging in civil discourse about beliefs that he felt strongly about. You're a sick individual if you can say that he's responsible for his own death.
Whereas on September 12th, 2025, 2 days after the assassination of Charlie Kirk, Representative Ilhan Omar reposted a video on X, formerly known as Twitter, which disparaged the character of Charlie Kirk and those mourning his death. Whereas the video Representative Ilhan Omar reposted on X states Charlie Kirk is dead. And before the body got cold, the far right propped his corpse up as a cudgel for their holy war. Whereas the video Representative Ilhan Omar reposted on X further states, don't be fooled. These people don't give a single shit about Charlie Kirk. They're just using his death to further their Christo-fascist agenda.
That's disgusting. I know a lot of people that personally knew him. I've met him a couple times. He's always been a very kind person, but besides the fact, people that know him, that are genuinely mourning his assassination, mourning that a 31-year-old man who they were close to, who they cared about, who they were connected with, had his life taken away from him. No, they're sad about it. They're rightfully angry that someone hated him so much that they were willing to take his life because of his ideas. No, they're sad. Are they reactive? Yes. As anyone would be losing someone close to them or someone they cared about. We're not using him or propping him up for some sort of agenda. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. And this is what's so annoying about politics. Like, they don't care about anything except for power and what they can say or spin into their favor. Like someone lost their life and we're going to find a way to advance their own political career, to get some traction or some attention on them. It's sickening. It's sickening. Really? You just get... Anyways, let's see what else Ilhan Omar said.
Whereas the video Representative Ilhan Omar reposted on X further states Charlie Kirk was a reprehensible human being He enacted his political agenda by preying on weak-minded people. He took complex socioeconomic issues and simplified them by pointing fingers at outgroups, demonizing those groups, and siccing his massive following on them.
Weak-minded people, college students that are literally learning so much about the world right now, they're actually actively being indoctrinated by their professors 90% of the time to have a more liberal view on life. He just went there to challenge our ideas, preying on young minds. These people are adults, the beginning of their adulthood. They're not being forced to engage in conversation with him. He's presenting and critiquing and bringing another perspective to their worldview or their thought process, something they don't need to engage in. Preying on young minds is crazy. They have a right to talk to him or not to talk to him. So I talk about the reframing of things that these people do is ridiculous.
Whereas the video Representative Ilhan Omar reposted on X further states Charlie Kirk was a stochastic terrorist, an adamant transphobe. He denied the genocide happening in Palestine. He believed the subjugation of women, and in his last dying words, he was spewing racist dog whistles. Whereas the video Representative Ilhan Omar reposted on X further states Charlie Kirk was Dr. Frankenstein, and his monster shot him through the neck. Whereas the video Representative Ilhan Omar reposted on X further blames Charlie Kirk for his own murder. Whereas Clause 1 of Rule 13 of the Rules of the House of Representatives provides a member, delegate, resident commissioner, officer, or employee of the House shall behave at all times in a manner that shall reflect credibility on the House. Whereas Representative Ilhan Omar's actions in the wake of the assassination of Charlie Kirk are reprehensible and affect the dignity and integrity of the proceedings of the House and do not reflect the credibility on the House. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota be censured. Representative Ilhan Omar forthwith present herself in the well of the House of Representatives for the pronouncement of censure. Representative Ilhan Omar be censured with the public reading of this resolution by the Speaker, and Representative Ilhan Omar be and is hereby removed from the Committee on Education and Workforce and removed from the Committee on the Budget of the House.
Resolution offered from the floor by a member other than the majority leader.
As she should be. That's sick. That's sick. What is wrong with you? This is an elected official, guys. This is someone that y'all voted into office. Y'all, we, that's the American people. I didn't, but certain people did. This is who you want representing you, representing our country. Someone capable of being that heartless, that cruel. Because when you're an elected official, you represent all of your constituents, which are liberal and conservative, which are Democrat and Republican. Do they not know that? I cannot stand this political world, man. Sick. You're a sick individual. I would say that if it was a Democrat that had been killed, that's sad that they died, especially if it had been in that gruesome of a way. Where is your heart? Anyways, comment your thoughts down below, guys. I want to know what you're thinking. I just can't believe the world is like this. But I will see you guys on the next video. Have a great day. Peace.